Tonight, I'm revisiting a few red wax weeders I tasted earlier in 2023, but this time, I'm adding a store pick unlike no other. Stay tuned to see what it is. Welcome to the 10th day of whiskey. I'm Cyncere, and tonight I'm sampling 3 specialty bottles wonderfully dipped in red wax. Can one of these wheat-filled wonders make my top 5 tasted in 2023 list? We shall see. Cue the hate mail. When I first started my journey, I was always a fan of Maker's Original and Maker's 46, and over time I have had the opportunity to explore some of their other expressions. Some people hate weeders, others love them. I really enjoy them. I am still looking to get a Maker's Mark cellar aged. 2024 on the horizon, I'll be keeping my fingers crossed. But enough of the holiday wish list, let's get to the reason why we're here. Leave me a comment below if you've had the opportunity to taste the Maker's Mark cellar aged. I know it's gotten glowing reviews online. I'm curious to see what some of you guys that tune in to me will say about it as well. All right, enough of my holiday wish list. Let's spread some holiday cheer and get into some of these bottles. On the 10th day of whiskey, my true love gave to me 10 waxes dipping, 9 dusty bottles, 8 drams of mixtures, 7 bondage bonding, 6 wooden cases, 5 local blends, 4 Bardstown Burbs, 3 Willett Gems, 2 Rise to Love, and a mash bill the same as Pappy's. The overall vibe of the video just hits different when you know you're about to sip some whiskeys that you really do enjoy. 2 of these bottles are private select, and the others are limited release from the wood finishing series. I had to cut back on the BEP a bit because I don't have a backup. I will buy one as soon as I see another one out there somewhere. The second bottle here is the store pick I got on vacation in North Carolina. It's grown on me over time as well, so I'll be interested to see where it is tonight because it has been a little bit, even though I'm about halfway through that bottle. Third one is a store pick from S&W Liquors in Maryland that a friend of mine was able to pick up for me that is right there neck and neck, in my opinion, with BEP. At least when I first had it. I have not sampled them together in any one setting, so tonight will be the first time I do that, and I'm curious to see which one I like better. Unlike last episode, these bottles all come in the same exact sizes, shapes, similar proof points, similar price points as well, given they all offer uniquely pleasant flavors for us to savor. So the BEP I picked up in a drop, the middle one I picked up in North Carolina on vacation, and then the one on the end was picked up for me by a friend. I cannot wait to get into all 3 of these tonight. Simple agenda for tonight: nose, sip, breakdown. Once that's done, provide a simple listing and determine whether they belong on the naughty or the nice list. All right, let's start with the BEP. First sip of the night. I think this comes in at about 109 proof. I probably should have had some sort of a pregame sip just to get my palate warmed up, but I think we'll be all right. It's a really sweet nose. I'm getting a little bit of brown sugar, some cinnamon, definitely a bourbony, like a medium oaky note. Let's dive into the North Carolina pick. So this one, I don't get as much burn, extremely smooth. I get more of a baking spice as opposed to cinnamon. A light oak. That baking spice is definitely the top note. Let's dive into my newfound wonder, the S&W store pick. All right, so the nose on this one, it's almost like fried apples. Very red appley, a little bit of cinnamon, not a heavy ethanol on the nose. Almost like full-blown fresh ground cinnamon mixed mixed in with cinnamon and sugar for baked apples. Let's circle back for a sip. Starting with the BEP. So for 109.6 proof whiskey, this definitely doesn't burn up the palate. It's super smooth. That brown sugar comes through, and I do get a little bit of that cinnamon on it. That's a good pour. I really enjoy that one. So the North Carolina pick was one that took time to grow on me. I remember when I first cracked it, I liked it, but it wasn't as impressive to me as the BEP was the first time I had a sip of that. So cheers. Now see, that's completely different from what I was explaining on the nose, because now this gives me some, this gives me like applesauce. I still get a very good oak flavor on this one, but I do get more of a apple, could be even like biting into a fresh red apple. Super sweet. Not quite as sweet as adding cinnamon and sugar to it and baking them or frying them, but this is a good sip. Let's go in for the S&W store pick. This is one that I do recall being really pleasant, both on the nose, both on the palate. I remember this being really smooth. I have had it on 2 occasions. The day I got the bottle, I took a quick sample, and then I shared it with a couple of folks about a month or so ago. Granted, we had a lot of different pours that night, so I'm curious to see how this stacks up against 2 of its siblings. Man, this is like apple crisp. And you get that little bit of vanilla, like if you had ice cream on it and the ice cream is slowly melted and seeped into it. You get that sweeter vanilla, apple crisp, and then it just rounds out with a very light wood oakiness that doesn't quite hug you, gives you a nice firm handshake, little pat on the back, but this has some pretty unique flavors to it. So let's do a quick Cynple listing. On the BEP, MSRP on this one, $65. Secondary pricing, about $90. Proof, 109.6. Distillery, Maker's Mark. Cynple list. It's going to be on my nice list all day. You don't get this far into a bottle if you're still debating on whether or not it makes it out of your nice list. So this one right here is one that I highly recommend. I've recommended to any of my friends who were out and they saw a bottle. I told them straight up, buy it. I am looking to back this bottle up because it is one that I enjoy. The Winter 2023 Onslow County ABC. I'll put the name on there in case I pronounced it wrong. You're not going to see this on the secondary market anywhere. I paid $79.99, I believe, or $74.99 one. I'll look at my log later. Proof on this one is 109.1 proof. Distillery, Maker's Mark. If you're ever in North Carolina vacationing, whether you be in the Outer Banks or Topsail Island, this was a store pick that I would go back for. One thing I will add is if you are not used to the different stave profiles and things that come from Maker's Mark, then this can be one that has to grow on you. So I'd say instead of buying back up, I'd say at least buy. So list, nice list. And again, last but certainly not least, the S&W Liquors Christmas Apple Crisp. Very fitting name for the flavor profile that I get based off of the stave profile that they selected. This right here is neck and neck with the BEP. I know I rant and raved in the Meet Your Makers video a while back about how good this BEP was. And I have seen a few folks that just weren't impressed with this, but I really was. MSRP on this one, which I believe I paid $80, is very fair rate for it. Secondary, I don't think you'll see it on the secondary market. If anybody's selling it on the secondary market, shame on you. This should be one that you actually enjoy with people that you like. Proof, 110.4 proof. Distillery Maker's Mark, Naughty or Nice list. I didn't know something like this actually existed, so it's got to be on a nice list. 3 for 3 tonight. This is one of those that if you're a Maker's Mark fan, all 3 of these are buying back up. If you are not a Maker's Mark fan, I would challenge you to 1, try any of these neat. 2, try any of these with a little bit of water and see if it changes your opinion. I don't get the crazy wheat. I don't get the overpowering weeder vibes on these when I add water. A couple of them I did get a little bit of wheat. A couple of them I did get a little bit of baking spice. So if that's not your thing, yeah, you can skip them all together. But ultimately, I really enjoy all 3 of these. All right, so that was a pleasant tasting. As I anticipated, all of these never cease to amaze me. I will back up any of these that I can. I highly doubt I'll find this one again in time. But these 2, I know somebody that may be sitting on a couple of these, so I might have to twist an arm or 2 to get me a backup. Before we go, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells to stay up to date on all things Cynple whiskey. We only have 2 more episodes remaining, and I am looking forward to both of them. Until then, keep it simple and cheers.